Hi. Yeah, welcome. And welcome to those people online as well. And also, just to let you know, this is being recorded, and it will be being recorded for B4, and it will be afterwards visible on the B4 website. So the order of the day, I'm just going to tell you about. Our first speaker will be Norman Carrick, who will tell us about what's new in the world of honeybee conservation. And he will be followed by Dr. Ollie Bizik, who's here from Plymouth University, and he is going to talk about free-living honeybees, the colony density, survival and potential limiting factors. I know Ollie's work is mostly going to reflect what he's been doing at Sussex University. He's just starting here at Plymouth. Now we're going to have a break then at 11:30, but it's a very short break. I'm sorry about that, because we've got so much to pack in. So please could you try and be back in your seats by 11:45. When Dr. Jonathan Ellis is going to talk to us about citizen science surrounding the project that they are just embarking on at Plymouth University, which Ollie himself is involved with. And this is so citizen science, how to get involved. I think he means us and anyone who thinks interested with the University of Plymouth, free-living honeybees research. Then we're going to have a lunch break, an early one, at 12:05, and we'll have a choice of pasties. At 1 o'clock, Norman Carrick's going to talk to us again about biosecurity and lessons from the Isles of Scilly. At 1:30, Philippe Salbany and Matt Somerville are going to talk about lessons from Blenheim Palace and ancient woodlands. We have some coffee, and then we're going to have starting at 2:15, for those of you who are still with us, and I hope you all are, but we're going to have some questions which we would love you to answer, and I think we'll split into groups. We'll rearrange the chairs so that we're in smaller groups so that we can run it as a bit of a workshop, and I'll show you the questions in a minute, but it's really to help guide us where B4 in particular need to go, want to go. We'd love your input. We are a community interest company, and until last year, this was our sort of mission. We were established about almost 14 years ago for the conservation of the dark European honeybee or black bee, Apis mellifera mellifera. All our activity really has been around that. We've done a lot of activity with genetics and a lot with biosecurity, trying to improve the survival, trying to reduce competition with the black bee, which we consider our native bee. Although we've been very busy doing that, we have for quite a while realised that actually there are bees out there which may not necessarily be strictly AMM, but they may be worth preserving anyway. I'm sure other people are thinking that already. Many in this room will think, well, of course, and we've known, of course, but we thought, well, maybe B4 should switch to that emphasis as well, whatever their genotype. But we want to still keep supporting the science. We've always wanted to support the science to see what the genetics is for the bees that are living wild, free-living bees, how well they're surviving, whether they have something to help us into the future for the conservation of the honeybee generally. So we're now proposing that instead of the conservation of the black bee, we're thinking about the conservation of the honeybee as a general bee. So this is, we're all getting more and more nervous, aren't we, about the future of insects generally, and all the threats that are thrown at us. And nature, as we know, is getting more and more squeezed as the human race gets more and more dominant. So what can the B4 project do about that? And so we thought, well, let's concentrate on free living bees, particularly as other people are starting to do this, so there's more to work with. And then we were delighted to hear that Plymouth University is actually going to look at this next as well, and that's on our doorstep. So we're going to work, we hope, if they want us, with Plymouth University to look at the free living bees in the southwest. That would be great, and we'd love to hear from the Plymouth University team how we might do that. And we want to know your opinion about this too, because it's quite a change. We haven't had this change in direction before. We've always kept the black bee very firmly in our sights for B4. So this is how we've changed. We've now got, as well as what we were doing before, so still promoting a sustainable beekeeping framework. We're still very focused on supporting scientific research. We're still keen on the conservation and restoration programs, but now we've introduced this other thing, recognition and protection of the honeybee as a wild species. And those of us in B4, we're actually a CIC, where we work as a community interest company. There's only a few of us. I suppose our resources are relatively small. And it just so happens that within that group of people, some of us are very interested in what else is going on apart from those honeybees. So we really want to make sure that whatever's happening in the honeybee world is also compatible with nature recovery generally. So these are the questions that we'll be giving you at the end of our day, which is at 2:15. We can put this up later, but we'll put it up in the lunchtime actually. But we'd like these just for our own, for your input to help us decide that. So do you want me to read them? Are you broadly in favour of B4 becoming more interested on focusing primarily on the conservation of the honeybee rather than the black bee? If yes, which landscape might be suitable or desirable? Do you know of one that you think this would be a good place for us to focus our attention? Do you have any ideas of funding? If you don't think it's a good idea, would you like to suggest what B4 should be doing instead of the above? Thank you. Well, I'd now like to introduce Norman Carrick, who's going to be our first speaker.